Good morning. Welcome to the Yes Prep Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can direct it to a specific school by including that in your question, or you can leave a more general question for all of our representatives to answer and provide more information. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. We hope that you've enjoyed your sessions this morning throughout the day learning about some great institutions. This presentation, as well as the others, are being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you signed up for this information. And we're now going to begin by turning it over to our presenters. So you can see our schedule. Here we are session C8. So our first presentation today will be the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Zaina Pasco. I am the Texas Regional Recruiter for the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So when it comes to UAB, we actually cover 18 city blocks in the city of Birmingham. Birmingham is the largest city in the state of Alabama. When it comes to our campus, as you can see, we have close proximity to downtown. So a lot of our students really like that, being able to be on campus as well as also steps away from the downtown atmosphere. An overview of UAB, we have about 22,000 students on our campus representing over 100 countries. In over different states. We actually have our fall 2019 freshman class had an average ACT score of a 25.6 and an average GPA of a 3.78. However, that is not what you need to be admitted to UAB. UAB was ranked the #1 young university, and when I say young, we are only 51 years old, so UAB was founded in 1969. So we are fairly young, therefore we have a lot of room for growth. We were recognized in 2018 and as well as 2020 as Insight to Diversity for Diversity Champions of the Years, which is really cool. It definitely speaks to our diversity that's on our campus, with 70% of our students coming from Alabama and 30% of our students coming from outside of the state of Alabama. So that means you won't just go to a school where it's all Alabama students. So it's kind of nice to have that flexibility. So what makes a UAB student? So our UAB students are very curious. We have 7,000 undergraduates contributed to UAB research in just 2018. And as you can imagine, it definitely has grown. We have 7 out of 10 Clinton Global Scholars in 2019, which is a really big deal because these students are selected from all over the nation. And for 7 of them, or 7 out of 10 to be from UAB is a really big deal. And we actually had 2 from the state of Texas. So that was really cool. All of our students participate in research, and research comes from in every form. So for every different major that we offer, you will be able to participate in research. For example, this student that is shown on this slide, his name is Royzell. He actually did research on the play Hamilton, and he was actually chosen as a finalist in our musical theater program to be in the play Hamilton. So that was a really big deal for him and for our students. Our students are very entrepreneurial. We actually had 60 startups that have been launched through UAB, and one of the main startups has been Shipped, which is a company very similar to Instacart. Its headquarters is actually in Birmingham, so if you ever visit, you'll be able to see it. It's a really big building. We actually have this thing called Innovation Depot, where if students have ideas, they can actually go to Innovation Depot, which is a whole office, and they can kind of help work with those ideas and make that dream come true. When it comes to academic programs at UAB, we actually offer over 120 different majors. A lot of our majors are direct admit. So if you apply and say you're interested in entrepreneurship, that will be the major that you are admitted into. These are 4 of our brand new majors that just started this fall: cancer biology, engineering design, bioinformatics, and entrepreneurship. These are majors that we saw a large want for within our students. And so we flew in professors from all over the world who were very found in this topic, and we actually have them now as professors on our campus. So this is going to be a thriving majors. If you want to look more into all the different majors that we offer, you can actually go to uab.edu/degrees, and you can kind of search for different things that you're interested in. So if you're not really sure what a major is called, but you know you want to do research in sales, or you want to do healthcare or something in art, you can just put it in the search box and it'll actually find a list of majors that might fit your needs. And that way you can go in and learn more about those majors. This is one that's not really a major, but we offer joint school and medical programs. So for example, if you major in any of these 5 majors, so neuroscience, immunology, genetics, bioinformatics, or cancer biology, you automatically have a faculty member from our med school that will be your mentor, therefore heightening your chances of being accepted into UAB Med. UAB Med is a very prestigious school, and we actually have a program called MSAP, which stands for Early Medical School Acceptance Program. A lot of people refer to it as BSMD. So it's an accelerated medical school program. You apply your senior year in high school, and if you are accepted into this program, you do have a guaranteed spot into UAB Medical School. We also have this for our dentistry program, as well as our optometry program. So applying to UAB, first thing you want to do is submit an application. You can apply through the Common App, or you can apply directly through our website. You have the option, it's up to you. Pay the application fee, which is $40, or unless you have a fee waiver. And we were just approved today to be test optional, so that's really cool. So now you do not have to send your test scores, but we will still need your high school transcript. And then we do have merit-based scholarships where students are able to select from. They're going to be based on your test scores and GPA. Obviously, with us now being approved to be test optional, we will mostly just look at your high school transcript. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll leave my information in the chat. Thank you for paying attention.
That's a great idea, actually, for any of our facilitators. If you'd like to drop that contact information in the chat, that can be a great way for our students to see that. So thank you for that idea. All right, our next presentation today is going to be coming from San Diego State University.
Thank you so much. So my name is Kylie Helmke. I am the Administrative Support Coordinator for the Out-of-State Office of Admissions at SDSU. I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I'm really excited to share a little bit about what SDSU has to offer. So a couple things that make us unique is our affordability and the value of our education. Forbes ranked SDSU as one of the most affordable institutions for the quality of education you're going to receive from our college. We are ranked #1 in the state of California and #5 in the nation for the number of students we have that study abroad. And we're also top 35 nationally in ethnic diversity. And we really pride ourselves on offering students the opportunity to create community with other students from different backgrounds, cultures, and lifestyles. We have 90 undergraduate majors, and within those majors, we do have a direct admit program for nursing, 8 ABET accredited engineering programs, and then several pre-professional programs, including pre-dental, pre-legal, pre-med, pre-PA, pre-pharm, really to help set those students up for professional school following their undergraduate degrees. San Diego, we never have to brag too hard, right? There's a reason that San Diego is called America's finest city. We are the 2nd largest city in the state of California, and we are home to sunshine, beaches, and plenty to do. San Diego's really become California's hub for biotechnology and offers great opportunities for internships and job placements in a wide variety of interests. So it's really a great city to jumpstart your career after college. San Diego State is the only four-year university on the trolley line, which makes it really easy to get around the city of San Diego. Our campus is only about 10 miles from both the beaches and downtown, so everything is really nearby. You can get to everything you want to get to. Also, everyone's favorite part of this slide probably, we are 95 miles from Disneyland, which means you can get up at 7 a.m. and still make it by park opening. We have a ton of opportunities for students to get involved on campus. We have the Weber Honors College, which I'm actually an alum of, so if you have any questions about that, feel free to put those in the chat. Tons of opportunities to conduct and participate in research. As I mentioned, study abroad, we have over 650 study abroad programs in 70 countries. So you can really find a program that fits your preferences in your schedule. You can do a week during spring break, 3 weeks during the summer, a semester, a year. Again, 650 options, so something for everybody. We have internships, career services, and mentoring programs available as well. Our alumni network is over 300,000 strong, and actually 1 in 7 San Diegans is an SDSU alum. So our network is robust. In terms of admissions, our application opened on October 1st, and it will remain open through December 4th this year. The application can be accessed on the Cal State Apply website. So just to clarify, SDSU is not part of the Common App. You do need to apply on the Cal State Apply website, which is available for all 23 CSU campuses. So you'll complete the application and indicate which campuses you'd like your application sent to. Once you complete your application, you will be sent a Red ID, which is your student identification number. And that's how you'll create your web portal account. I would suggest completing that as soon as possible. That's where your admissions decision will be posted first and where any updates will be made available as well. We admit students based primarily off of the completion of the A through G criteria, which you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. Be sure to complete those courses with a C- or higher. We will take into consideration the grades you earn in those courses in 10th through 12th grade. So SDSU really looks at 9th grade as a transition year. You can get credit towards the A through G course completion, but we will not look at the grades from 9th grade. One area that our out-of-state students tend to ask the most about is our requirement for a year's worth of visual and performing arts. In order to be admissible to any CSU campus, you do need to have 1 full year of a visual and performing art requirement. We do allow our out-of-state students to combine different disciplines though. So you could do 1 semester of ceramics and 1 semester of photography. That's totally acceptable. Again, as long as you got a C- or higher. Please keep in mind when you're filling out your application that we do review based off of self-reported grades. So it's really important that you have an unofficial transcript with you and that you're inputting your coursework and your grades correctly and exactly as they appear on your transcript. After you've been offered admission, we will request official transcripts for verification, so no need to send official transcripts up until that point. One thing to note for the fall 2021 application cycle, we have gone test blind in compliance with the CSU system, so you do not need to send ACT or SAT scores. In terms of student involvement on our campus, we have over 350 student organizations, which encompass everything from recreation and religion to leadership and social action. We have 47 Greek organizations on campus, and those are socially based, culturally based, philanthropic. So again, something for everybody. And then leadership, we have Associated Students, which is our student government and something that we encourage as many of our students to participate in as possible. In terms of student life and recreation, we do have a bowling alley on campus, as you can see. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the Aztec Aquaplex. That is our pool facility on campus. Again, it's San Diego, so you can lay out by that pool in the middle of January. I promise you the weather will be nice enough. That beach entry pool is probably one of the more popular napping spots on campus. I think I spent my entire freshman year there. We do have the Mission Bay Aquatic Center in San Diego as well, and you can get SDSU credit for classes like kayaking, sailing, stand-up paddleboarding, and surfing. So I definitely encourage our out-of-state students to take advantage of that opportunity. It is very authentically San Diego. Thank you again for joining us today. If you have any questions for me or for my staff, please feel free to reach out to us at perspective@sdsu.edu, and I look forward to reviewing your applications.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And just a quick note, I did misspeak. As panelists, we aren't able to add information. So if you were interested in the email address or the website link for one of our schools, please feel free to put that in the Q&A attendees. And then our panelists can add their information for everyone to be able to see that. So if there's a school that interests you, please feel free to do that. All right, our next presentation today will come from the University of Colorado, Boulder.
Oh my gosh, sorry about that. I assumed I was unmuted and had my video on and I did not. Anyway, my name is Perry Watts and I am the regional representative for the University of Colorado Boulder. Oh, sorry, am I over time already? Oh, okay, sorry about that. So that is my email address there on the screen. I'll also have it again at the end. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about CU Boulder at all. Before I get too far into our presentation today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Colorado Creed. This was created by our students in 2003 as a way to kind of highlight who we are and what we're about and what we expect, not only from our students, faculty, and staff, but also from anybody that comes to visit us or interacts with our community at all. So I'll let you all read that off the screen, of course, but just know that that kind of guides everything that we do and who we want to be as an institution. Now, to get to kind of the facts and nuts and bolts of the presentation, we are a large public flagship institution in the state of Colorado. We're in Boulder. We've got about 34,000 students and about 29,000 of them are undergraduates like you all will be. If you don't remember anything else from today, just remember that when we talk about being Boulder, that means we want you to experience all of our opportunities and the flexibility that we have to offer. So again, we are large and we're happy about that, because we can offer you a lot of opportunities and a lot of flexibility. One of the first places you see that is within our academic office. So we have a ton of different majors, minors, concurrent programs, and certificates to choose from. And the best part is once you actually get to the university, you can mix and match any which way that you want to. So if you want to do 2 majors and a minor, that's fine. If you want to do a major and a minor and a certificate, that's cool too. If you want to do 2 majors and 2 minors, that's okay. It's really up to you. We know that not every student is the same and not everybody's looking for the same things. And so we want to assist you in that journey and finding exactly what's right for you. Now, of course, if you're looking at this and you're already overwhelmed at all those options, that's okay. We have the program in exploratory studies, and that is just what it sounds like. It's there for you to explore. And so if you don't know what you want yet, or you're not sure of all the possibilities, you can go into our PES program, have additional support in that first year, as well as some courses designed for you to explore and help to transfer into the major that you're interested in, and hopefully still graduate in 4 years. If you do know what you want, we have our 7 different colleges and schools for you to choose from here on the screen. You can apply directly to the major of your choice if you know what it is right now as a senior in high school. In the application process, you will pick one of these, and then once you are on campus, you'll work with your academic advisor to start adding on things and mixing and matching like we talked about before. Now, of course, being at school and being in college is not all about what happens in the classroom. We want you to take advantage of everything else as well. And again, this is where that opportunity comes in. We have over 500 different clubs and organizations on our campus. So whatever it is that you're interested in, I guarantee that we have it for you, from everything from the African Student Association to the yoga club. As you can see from here on the slide, we do have Greek life. About 15% of our students participate. And we also have a ton of different research opportunities as a tier 1 research institution. So no matter what discipline you're interested in, I guarantee that we have a research center or institute dedicated to it. There is always a lot going on our campus. We also want you to take advantage of the environment around us. We're very well known, of course, for our outdoor offerings and our 300 days of sunshine. So you'll see a lot of outdoorsy things listed here on this slide. But I also want to highlight how you get the best of really 3 worlds at Boulder. So you have Boulder itself. It's a college town, about 100,000 residents. It's all about being a college student. CU is the heartbeat, and so you have that experience. If you're wanting to get away from people, get out and explore nature, Chautauqua Park is only 15 minutes away. The Flatiron is only 15 minutes away. Skiing is only 45 minutes away, so you can really get out and have some time to yourself. And on the flip side, if you're wanting to be surrounded by people and be in the city and have that experience, Denver is the state capital and it's only 30 minutes away. So if you're looking for professional sports teams, more museums, more restaurants, more everything, you have that too. So I really consider it having the best of 3 different worlds. So whether you're on or off campus, in Boulder, in Denver, in the mountains, wherever you are, you should have something to do. You should never be bored at Boulder. And finally, I want to take a little bit of time to talk with you about the application process itself. If you are a senior, you're obviously going through this right now. You're going to apply on Common App. That is the only place for first-year students to apply. And we'd like to see everything in by either November 15th, which is our early action deadline, or January 15th, which is our regular decision deadline. And so that is a received by deadline, meaning all application items in. So your essays, your test scores, if you're using those, your rec letter, everything received by that date. So you'll want to send it in advance of that November 15th or January 15th deadline. You can find out more about our application material requirements online, or you can email me and we can talk about it. We do a holistic review. So we're going to take into account everything that you send to us. It's not just about your GPA or your grades or your test scores. It's also your extracurricular activities, any special circumstances, all of that together to make our decision. And like I've kind of hinted at throughout this, we are test optional as well for this year. That is for 1 year only. So if you're currently a senior, we do not need to see your test scores at all for scholarships or for admission. If you are younger than that, it remains to be seen. We got a 1 year exception from the Colorado legislature, but we will see if we're able to have that extend on further than that. And then finally, here's my contact information again. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned today or anything I did not mention, feel free to email me at that email address. And thanks, y'all.
Great. Oh, thank you so much, Perry. We enjoyed learning more about the University of Colorado Boulder. Our next presentation today will be from Wichita State University.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Yes Prep Public Schools. My name is Matt Zekin. I am the regional admissions representative for Wichita State University. I represent Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. If there are any Yes Prep Northside students on here right now and I look familiar to you, I probably taught 6th grade science to you once upon a time before you became seniors in high school. So hello, special hello to all the Northside folks that are on today as well. Let's get started talking about Wichita State, y'all. Yes, ma'am.
One thing, it's not on full presentation mode if you wanted to adjust that so it's for students.
How about now?
Not yet, close to, yep, looks good.
Yep. Great, awesome.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing, thank you. All right, so Wichita, Kansas, I'm gonna start with the city of Wichita. We're a metro population of about 500,000 people. We have all the things that you would enjoy in your average city: arts, shopping, dining, city life. A lot of similarities with the city of Houston. We are the largest and most diverse city in the state of Kansas, much as Houston is the most diverse city in the entire country. A lot of really great things for our college grads, though. We are the #3 U.S. advanced industry hotspot, #1 most affordable college town in America. It's a very affordable place to live as a new college grad. We have some really great job results and employment results for our graduates as well that I'll touch on in a little bit here. Some quick facts about Wichita State University. We are 16,000 students strong, 19-to-1 student faculty ratio, so we can really keep those class sizes small and manageable for you. I mentioned Wichita is the most diverse city in the state of Kansas, and that translates very nicely to our university. Wichita State University is the most diverse campus in the state of Kansas. 38% of our students hail from diverse backgrounds, and we have some great programming for our over 40% first-generation college students that we have in our undergraduate population as well. Shockers get a lot of great stuff with their tuition. You get free tickets to all home athletic competitions and fine art events. You also receive a free YMCA membership for our brand new YMCA on campus as part of your cost of attendance, as well as a host of other things and academic supports. And our mascot is Woo Shock. He is a giant shock or bundle of wheat, in case you're wondering what that big yellow guy is at the bottom. One of the really big reasons why I'm here promoting Wichita State to students in the Houston area is we're actually offering a full automatic in-state tuition discount for all students from the major metros of Texas. You'll notice Harris County is listed on the list of counties that do get automatic tuition discounts. So you get in-state tuition. There's no extra work that you need to do as an incoming student. You apply, you get admitted to Wichita State University, and boom, you will get automatic in-state tuition at an estimated cost of $8,434 per year, which makes us competitive with a number of other Texas public institutions as well. To get admitted, we have a very simple application checklist. You can head to wichita.edu/apply, or you can head to the Common App and find us on there as well. We do charge a $40 application fee, but we accept any and all educational fee waivers that you might be eligible for. You can self-report everything. We don't need a transcript from you until you graduate from high school. So you can self-report your GPA and your test scores. Speaking of test scores, we are also test optional for the fall 2021 admissions cycle. So that means current seniors, you can get admitted with any of the following criteria on the screen: either a 2.25 unweighted high school GPA, or a 21 ACT score, composite score, or a 1080 SAT composite score. So it's any one of those three requirements. It does not have to be all three of those. Now, even though we are test optional for admissions, we do recommend having a test on file for your freshman merit scholarships. In order to qualify for a freshman merit scholarship, you're going to want to be admitted to Wichita State before November 1st. So as long as you're admitted before November 1st and you meet you meet the GPA and test score requirement, you would be eligible for a scholarship that ranges anywhere from $8,000 to $16,000 over 4 years, on top of that tuition discount that I mentioned before. So if you look at the chart that I have up on the screen, if you want to get a quick screen grab of this, you can kind of see what you would be eligible for if you were to apply before November 1st. You can also head to wichita.edu/freshman merit to see what you would be qualified for as well. Some of our popular majors at Wichita State, we are most well known for aerospace engineering by far. We have the #1 research and development, I'm sorry, we are #1 in the nation for research and development funding for our aerospace engineering program. And that has a lot to do with the city of Wichita. Wichita is nicknamed the air capital of the world. There are Air Force bases nearby. There are tons of aerospace engineering companies that are based in the city. Airbus, in particular, a huge aerospace company, is actually on our campus, and part of their deal with being on our campus is that they have to hire our students to internships. So there's a lot of great internship opportunities for our aerospace students. We have a top 1% business college in the entire nation. We're dual accredited in both general business and accounting, which puts us in that top 1% status. We have wonderful fine arts and media arts. We have a great musical theater program, really cool media arts programs that include game design, filmmaking, animation, and audio production, super popular. Great criminal justice and forensic science program, actually the second oldest criminal justice program in the country. Great education program, very competitive nursing program as well in terms of our health professions. And we have a top 20 sports management program in the entire nation. I would invite y'all to go to wichita.edu/majors to learn a little bit more about some of our majors. You can find all 70 of them, of our undergraduate majors listed there. Our applied learning program is a 100% guarantee for all of our students to have some sort of a hands-on learning experience during their time at Wichita State. We partner with over 500 different employers every single year to provide over 400,000 hours of internship opportunities and co-op opportunities to our students across every single major. We have great job outcomes as a result of that as well. Great campus life, over 300 student organizations, Greek life, everything that you could want there is available. There's a little something of everybody for everybody at Wichita State. And just since I know I'm running a little bit short on time here, I'll leave my contact information up on the screen for y'all. I would be happy to follow up with anybody. You can find my phone number and email on there. You can call or text that number. And if you want some additional information, scan that QR code for some extra info. Thank y'all so much, Yes Prep, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Matt. We appreciated hearing that. Our next presentation will be the University of Minnesota, Rochester.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Just give me a minute as I share my screen with all of you. Perfect. So this is the University of Minnesota, Rochester. Let's see. So we are part of the University of Minnesota system. So we have 5 campuses, and the Rochester campus is located in the southeast portion of Minnesota. And a little bit more about UMR. So UMR is located right in downtown Rochester. We are located right across the street from Mayo Clinic, which is the #1 hospital in the country. So we are located right in downtown. We have a population of about 114,000 people. Our nickname is Med City, and our claim to fame is Mayo Clinic. There are many things to do in Rochester. We have, I believe, like 4 movie theaters. We have a lot of restaurants and many shopping malls that students can go to. And there are many, we have quarries, we have lakes. So, I mean, there are a lot of things to do at Rochester. So we are a fairly new school. Our doors opened in 2009, and we had our first graduating class in 2013. And in total, we have about 850 students. 80% of students are from in-state, and 20% of our students are from out of state. And something that I will mention is that we do not have out-of-state tuition. So it does not matter if students come from Texas, Alaska, New York, everyone pays in-state Minnesota tuition. So that is really nice. We have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. 100% of our classes are taught by faculty. So you will not find TAs teaching the courses. And we also have a 23 average class size. So we still have small class sizes. So I mean, that ensures for, you know, different learning styles. And I will say this says 96% of our graduates graduated in 4 years. But this past 2019 spring graduates, 100% of them graduated in 4 or less years. So we are very excited. At UMR, everything that we do is on purpose to ensure student success. So UMR is health science focused. So all of our students want to do something within the health science field. And we offer 2 majors. The first major that we offer is the health science major. So we call it the one focus, unlimited possibilities, right? So the health science major, there are many things that you can do with this major. So we have had students that are interested in patient care. So with the health science major, students can become nurses. This will be the major that students go to if they want to go to medical school. So we have had students with this major that have become physical therapists, they have become doctors, pediatricians, dentists. With this health science major as well, we have had students become psychologists, we have had students become social workers, we have students that are interested more in research. So we have students that have gone, with this major, have gone on to do research. So there are many things that you can do with the health science major. The other major that we offer is the Bachelor of Science in Health Professions. Rather, the health science that I just got done talking about, that one is very broad, and there are many things that you can do with that major. The health professions is very specific into these 4 tracks. So students, what they come to UMR, their first 2 years, they are with us. They are taking prerequisites. And then at their final 2 years, they are at the Mayo Clinic School of Health Sciences. And at the end of the 4 years, they receive a bachelor's degree from us, but they also receive a certificate from Mayo Clinic into any of these 4 areas. So echocardiography, which is ultrasound of the heart, radiography, which are x-rays, respiratory care, which deals with the lungs, and sonography, which are ultrasounds. And something that I will mention about the health professions major is that we do have a 100% job placement rate with this major. 100% of these students are hired by Mayo Clinic. So I mean, it is really great. All of your clinical rotations are done at Mayo Clinic with this health professions major. We also have the early assurance physician assistant program. So students that apply to this program apply their senior year of high school, and their first 3 years they are at UMR, right? They are taking prerequisites, they are taking their generals, and their final 2 years they are at the Mayo Clinic School of Health Sciences. And at the end of the 5 years, they receive a master's degree in PA studies from the Mayo Clinic School of Health Sciences. We also are in collaboration with the University of Minnesota Twin Cities for an early assurance nursing program. So this nursing program, students apply their senior year of high school, and their first year they are at UMR taking prerequisite courses, and as long as they maintain a 3.0 GPA, they will then transition into the nursing program. And something I will mention is that the early assurance PA program and the early assurance nursing program, those clinical rotations are also at Mayo Clinic. So since we are a health science focused university, 56% of our students go on to graduate school or professional school after their time at UMR. Many of these students take a gap year, but then they eventually go on to graduate school or medical school. Let's see, so admission, we take a holistic approach when we look at your admission, your application. We are test optional for this school year. And the application deadline is December 1st. So making sure you put in your application before December 1st. That is also the deadline for the early assurance programs. And then here's my contact information. Again, my name is Karen Hernandez. I am the admissions counselor for diversity and outreach. And thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing that. I know we all learned quite a bit. And our sixth presentation now will be from the University of Texas at San Antonio. Also, a reminder to students, since this is our last presentation, please feel free to add those questions so we can catch them before the end. Thank you. All right, UTSA. Oh, Destiny, we can't quite hear you yet, but we can see your screen.
Yes, I was trying to make sure the screen was up and running.
You're all set.
Hi, everyone. My name is Destiny Jones. I am an admissions counselor for the University of Texas at San Antonio. I do oversee the Houston area, so all of you guys who may have questions about UTSA, I am the person that you would reach out to. So a little bit about UTSA and the city of San Antonio. We are located in San Antonio, Texas, right across the street from Fiesta Texas theme park. San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the nation. So you get a lot of the same amenities that you get here in Houston. You get a lot of those in San Antonio, a lot of the same restaurants, things to do, places to go, things to see. You get a lot of that in San Antonio as well. And then San Antonio is only 3 hours from the city of Houston. So I am from Houston and I went to UTSA. So it was super easy for me to kind of get away and be able to experience that time on my own and, you know, find out what it's like to be, you know, by myself and being on my own, but still be able to get back to Houston when need be. UTSA is made up of a little more than 32,000 students. Our students represent 91 different countries. Something we're super proud of is that our students, 50% of our undergraduate students identify as first generation. So that means that they're the first in their family to attend college. That is something that we take a lot of pride in. We celebrate on campus and we make sure that we have all the different resources for it, not just our first generation students, but for all of our students. At UTSA, we have a little more than 160 different degree programs across 8 different colleges. All of the programs that you see here all have different tracks and competencies within them. So like we have a general biology degree, but within that biology degree, you may want to focus on the pre-med track or, you know, the different tracks that we have within there. So if you're interested in business or engineering, if you want to go into the medical field, you want to study art or music, you want to become a teacher, we can help you out. Also, cybersecurity, we are really big on cybersecurity. Our cybersecurity program has been ranked #1 in the nation. And so we are getting a lot of different students, different businesses that are really investing into that program. A little bit about admissions. So if you are a current senior, we have waived the SAT and ACT test requirement. So this means that for our general admissions, you will not have to submit your SAT or ACT scores, although we do highly, highly recommend it. Now, if you're in the top 25% of your class, you will receive automatic admissions. So that means you submit your documents, we will automatically give you an acceptance into UTSA. Now, if you fall below the top 25%, you will fall into our committee review process. So that means that we're gonna look at you holistically. We're gonna look at you beyond your grades on your transcript, and we're gonna look at your letters of recommendation and your essay if you choose to submit them. We'll look at everything that you put down on your application. So your extracurricular activities, awards, if you have any special circumstances, all those type of things will be taken into consideration when we review your application. But we can't take those things in consideration if you don't list them. So how to apply? We are on Apply Texas and the Common App. We do have a $70 application fee, but we also accept the SAT or the ACT fee waiver. When you submit your fee waiver, you will also have to submit an additional form of documentation in order to prove that you qualify for the fee waiver. And all of that can be found on our Future Roadrunner website, all the different documents you can submit. We'll also need your transcript and then your test scores if you choose to submit them. When it comes to the essay and the letters of recommendation, they are not required, but we do highly, highly recommend that you submit them, just because that is our way of seeing who you are as a student beyond just the transcripts on your paper. So deadlines, if you don't remember anything else and you are interested in applying to UTSA, please remember that our priority deadline is January 15th. That is not only our admissions priority deadline, but also for financial aid. In order to be considered for the max amount of financial aid, you want to submit everything and be admitted by January 15th. So speaking of financial aid, we do have a separate scholarship application that is separate from the Apply Texas or the Common App application. So you'll do your Apply Texas or Common App, but then you'll receive your UTSA ID. You'll log into the scholarship hub that houses all of our different scholarships, and then you'll fill out the general scholarship form. That general scholarship form will allow you to be reviewed for some of the institutional aid that we can provide to you. One of those scholarships opportunities is our Bold Promise. Bold Promise is a promise that we will cover your tuition and fees 100% for the 4 years that you are with us, but you have to meet the certain qualifications. So you have to be a Texas resident, you have to have an income of no more than $50,500, you have to submit your FAFSA, be in the top 25% of your class, and be admitted by January 15th. And so I just always like to reiterate that our financial aid deadline is January 15th. And so in order to be considered for the max amount, you want to make sure that you have everything in by January 15th.
All right, Destiny, we've come to our 6-minute mark. If you have a slide to show your contact info, I was gonna let you do that. For everyone who is on our presentation right now, thank you so much. It was great. We were getting some good questions in the box, so you just have a couple more minutes left for those Q&As. If your question doesn't get answered today during the presentation, it is okay. These questions we've provided and the representatives can follow up with you after the presentation is over. In our last 2 minutes together, I would love to have all the representatives undo their camera and appear again. And we'll just do a real fast, we can go around the circle and each representative share something that is a favorite tradition or a favorite fun fact about your institution. We'll go in the same order that we presented in. So University of Alabama at Birmingham, if you'd like to begin.
Yeah, so I would say one fun fact about UAB is because we are located in Birmingham, and Birmingham is always on the top 5 for foodie cities, we have a lot of different food types. So for example, the major thing right now is sushi tacos. So if you like sushi and you like tacos, that is a main cuisine right now, as well as this sweet tea fried chicken sandwich. It sounds disgusting, but it actually tastes like a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So if you're ever in Birmingham, I would highly recommend trying those 2 things.
My turn? Oh, I would say in terms of traditions or things you need to do if you are in San Diego, I think it should be mandatory, a graduation requirement for SDSU that you have to go to a football game and a basketball game. This was the year for basketball for us. We had one of the best records in the country. We were definitely going to go far in March Madness, and then the tournament was canceled. So I think that it should, I think every student should go to a game and participate, be a member of the show. That's our student section at football and basketball games. We are absolutely rowdy. Some of the craziest nights of my life, but those are just a blast. And I think it's something that all of our students should experience at least once.
Thank you. Perry, University of Colorado Boulder.
Yeah, so one of my favorite traditions, and it looks like we're actually gonna get to see it this year, is Ralphie running at our home football games. And so Ralphie is our live mascot. She's a buffalo. She has handlers that will help take her out there, but she runs around the stadium at every home football game. And so now that the Pac-12 is back, I guess we will get to see Ralphie this year. So that'll be fun.
And University of Minnesota, Rochester?
Yeah, so our fun fact, since we are located right in downtown Rochester, is that the U of M campus is located on top of a shopping mall. So floors 1 and 2 are stores, restaurants. Floors 3 and 4 is our library, classrooms, chemistry labs. So yeah, there's a lot to explore in downtown.
And University of Texas at San Antonio?
I would say one of my favorite traditions at UTSA is Fiesta. So the best way to describe Fiesta is what Mardi Gras is to New Orleans is what Fiesta is to San Antonio. Just like on a smaller scale, like we don't get too crazy, but it's a really great opportunity to just kind of see what the entire city has to offer.
Awesome. Thank you. I love adding that little slice about the campus life, campus experience, the campus itself.
Jennifer, do you mind if I provide an answer as well?
Sorry, Matt. I'm so sorry. Thank you for saying
It's
something.
all good.
Go right ahead. I just marked the wrong thing on my sheet. Thank you.
It's all good.
Wichita State, please go.
One of our biggest traditions, we do have a great basketball team, but outside of like athletics, I always like to throw out the Hippodrome. It is a very unique to Wichita State event. It is a full-on performance arts event that we hold every year in the fall. It's basically a slew of 20 to 25 minute skits. We give awards at the end of them. It's a very like strange but super duper fun event. So it's one of those little like weird fun community things that we do at Wichita State.
So cool. Like I said, it's my favorite question. I love hearing all of this, so thank you. So as we're wrapping up, just wanted to say thank you again to all of our presenters for sharing amazing information about your institutions. I hope our students gained a lot of great insight. When we leave this event, there will be a very quick, brief 4-question survey that we hope you'll answer for some great feedback. And again, the recordings will be available in about a week so that you can get back to review all this information and catch anything that you would like to learn again. We hope you'll certainly be in touch with the schools that are of interest to you to learn more about their programs. Thank you to our presenters. Thank you to our attendees. We hope you all have a wonderful day and have a wonderful day. Good night.